You won't believe what happens at the end. Keep watching. I didn't know anything was wrong when I walked onto the set. There were no alarms, no warnings, no visible mistakes. And yet, seconds before everything collapsed, my body already knew. Before the lights flickered, before the darkness, before I heard someone breathe behind me in a room where no one was supposed to be. Part 1. What remains? I don't remember the details of that evening very clearly. The order of things dissolved over time, softened by distance and self-protection. Faces blurred. Sounds lost their edges. What stayed wasn't a story. It was a feeling. Memory doesn't preserve events. It preserves survival. It edits what threatens continuity and keeps what allows the mind to move forward. What remains is heavier than facts. A pressure beneath the ribs. A quiet weight that never fully leaves. When I think back, my body responds before my mind does. A tightening, a subtle resistance, as if some internal system recognized danger long before it had a form. That's what unsettles me most, the certainty that arrived before cause, before sound, before collapse. Part 2. Stepping in. The set looked ordinary, familiar. I had walked onto hundreds like it before. I should have felt nothing. Instead, my body slowed. Not enough to draw attention, just enough to notice. My breathing grew shallow, as if my lungs were waiting for permission. The air felt heavier than it should have been. I scanned the room without realizing it. Corners, shadows, empty spaces that didn't feel empty. I told myself it was fatigue. A long day. Artificial light playing tricks. Rational explanations came easily. I said nothing. You can't interrupt a process with intuition alone. You can't explain discomfort without evidence. Still, the set didn't feel neutral. It felt aware. Part 3. A quiet resistance. The lights were dimmed for the scene. Soft, intimate, deliberate. Shadows stretched farther than they should have, clinging to corners meant to feel safe. Sets usually hum. They breathe with routine and movement. This one didn't. It waited. Standing at my mark, I felt slightly out of sync with myself, like my body was half a second behind my thoughts. My heartbeat felt too loud. I considered speaking up, saying anything. But doubt intervened. The fear of sounding foolish outweighed the pressure building in my chest. Professionals don't stop for feelings, even when those feelings are trying to warn them. Part 4. Action. I said I was ready. The words came automatically. My body disagreed. Action. My heart accelerated without warning, uneven and sharp. I delivered my lines, hit my marks, did everything right. And yet none of it felt like it belonged to me. My voice sounded distant, slightly delayed, as if I was hearing it through a wall. I was aware of my movements without being connected to them. A thought surfaced, cold and clear. I'm not fully here. What followed frightened me more. Something else was. Part 5. Awareness. It didn't announce itself. No sound, no movement, just certainty. A sharp awareness along my spine, the unmistakable sense of someone standing too close behind me. Close enough that turning around felt unnecessary. I already knew. The lights flickered once. Darkness. They said it lasted a second. Maybe it did. But time stretches when the body believes it's in danger. In the dark, I heard breathing. Slow, controlled, not mine. It brushed the back of my neck, warm enough to feel real. I didn't move. I understood one thing completely. I was not alone. Part 6. Impact. The lights snapped back on. People screamed. But beneath the noise was something worse. Stillness. A pause heavy enough to feel physical. Then the ground shifted. Gently at first, as if the set had lost its decision to remain upright. People stumbled, collided, not pushed, just suddenly without trust in what was beneath them. A spotlight tore loose and fell. Glass shattered. A scream stopped mid-sound. Silence followed. Brief. Terrifying. My body locked in place. Instinct told me movement was dangerous. Stillness felt like survival. Part 7. The hand. Then someone grabbed my arm. Hard. Urgent. I was pulled backward before I could react. I never saw their face, never heard their voice. I only remember their hand. Cold. Not shaking, not sweaty. Cold in a way that didn't belong under warm stage lights. The grip released as suddenly as it appeared, leaving behind a strange absence. I didn't look back. I didn't need confirmation. Part 8. Noise. After that, everything sped up. Sirens cut through the air. Voices overlapped. Commands blurred together. Someone wrapped a blanket around my shoulders. I didn't remember feeling cold. Questions came fast. Are you okay? Can you hear me? I couldn't answer. Because answering meant staying present, and every part of me wanted distance. From the light, from the noise, from the knowledge that something had happened before anyone noticed. My body was safe. My mind was elsewhere. Part 9. Reasons. Later, they explained everything. Equipment failure, structural miscalculation, weight distribution, careful language designed to reassure. I read the reports. They were thorough, logical, incomplete. None of them mentioned the moment before the lights flickered. None of them explained the breath in the dark. None of them explained why my body had known first. The set shut down. The project ended. People recovered. They said I did too. I learned how to agree. Part 10. The warning. Even now, when lights flicker in the evening, I stop. I wait. I listen. I check the space behind me. Some accidents don't begin with broken equipment or human error. They don't start on the surface. They begin inside you. As a signal. A warning the body understands before language does. Once you learn that feeling, you never fully ignore it again. You just learn to listen sooner.